goes a sight for my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight for my soul. There goes a sight for my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight.
What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video with your boy Jordan, your online physique building coach. So I just got these Ace wrist wraps. I literally got these from Walmart. They're $3.98 a piece. Literally $3.98 a piece for wrist wraps. Like, these literally, they help. They actually do help for $3.98 a piece. I know that's really cheap, but they actually do work. And the reason that I invested in wrist wraps is because I was starting to have some wrist pain. Why was I starting to have some wrist pain? Because I'm putting a lot of weight on my wrist when I'm bench pressing 315, 335, 350, 360. And I'm also overhead pressing up to 185 pounds like this overhead. And that also puts a lot of tension on my wrist. And I noticed a lot of the times when I was overhead pressing that when I would rack the bar, that the bar would roll back in my hand and pull my wrist back a little bit. Now if I have wrist wraps keeping my hands straight up, it's not going to allow my hand to bend back like this and have the bar roll back and cause unnecessary tension on my wrist. So not only that, but I do low bar squat. And so there's low bar and there's high bar squat. High bar squat is when the bar sits on top of your traps. This muscle right here. Low bar squat is when the bar sits under your traps. It's like way down here. So the bar is a lot lower, and when you're holding a low bar, what tends to happen, since your hands are literally like all the way down here, is the bar it'll start to bend your wrist back about like that. And like this kind of bending in the wrist, it hurts a little bit. So after every set of low bar, you're just kind of having a little bit of pain through here, and all that stress on your wrist over time can build up, and you might be benching one day and just pull your wrist or just snap something because your wrist is always recovering from being bent back on squat, on bench, on deadlift, from the bar rolling around in your hand and pulling your wrist back like this. So for me, I am on a budget, and so I just didn't want to invest in like $50 wrist wraps. I want to ease my way into wrist wraps with these little Ace wrist wraps from Walmart. And like literally, if you guys want to purchase some of these for yourself, go to Walmart, go to the section where like shampoo and deodorant is, and just ask a Walmart attendant where the wrist wraps are. And they're literally $3.98 per wrist wrap. You might think because these are $3 that they're going to be absolutely terrible, but they're really not that bad. They're really not that bad, guys. This is what they look like. Little Ace wrist wrap. It's pretty easy to put on. See this little cuff part? I like to put this like on top of my wrist right here. So then I'll just wrap this right here. Then I'll pull it up a little bit, get it a little bit higher on my wrist. Want to make sure that it's actually supporting my wrist, making sure that my hand is not able to pull back like this. The whole point is so that this keeps your hand straight up, so your hand doesn't pull back like this when the bar happens to go too high in your hand, or when you're doing low bar squat and it's pulling back on your hand. You want to make sure that this wrist wrap is keeping your wrist from bending back like this. It's supporting your wrist right here. So now that I got that on, I'm just going to simply wrap it around like this, like so. And that's it. You can wrap this really tight. This is very tight for a $3 wrist wrap. I mean, there's a good bit of pressure on my wrist right now, so my wrist does not really want to bend back right now. I can, but it's not that easy. And if I want a little bit more pressure, if I want my wrist to absolutely not bend back at all, I'll just wrap it a little bit tighter. And for $3.98, your wrist is protected. Your hand's not going to bend back. It's not going to bend back. So I did actually use this guy at the gym for bench press on Tuesday, and I was able to get 315 for sets of 4, 4, and 5 reps at like an RPE of 7.5 on the sets of 4, at an RPE of 8.5 on the sets of 5. In my opinion, having wrist support promotes a lot more confidence on the bench press, because at no point are you worried about the bar rolling up in your hand or your wrist coming back, and you're not worried about hurting your wrist. It's important, guys. If you're bench pressing over 315 and you're not 300 pounds, you're someone like myself who hovers around 165 to 190 depending on bulking or cutting, then these wrist wraps are going to help you protect your wrists and not become injured, because it's really easy if you're bench pressing 315 or more and you're not a massive guy to be bending your wrist back and really hurt something. So these really do help. For $3.98 a piece, you're literally spending about $8 after tax, or a little bit over $8 for wrist support that could save your wrist. Like, for years and years and years, you're gonna have years and years and years more of weightlifting, practicality in the gym, doing the things that you love, lifting things up and putting things down, because you invested in $8 at the gym. And just so you guys know really quickly, these shorts I'm wearing, I don't know if you can see this, these shorts, these are also like $8.50 from Walmart. These wrist wraps, $8 from Walmart for both of them after tax. Literally, guys. I get excuses from a lot of people that they can't afford to get into lifting because they can't afford this and they can't afford that. I'm like, bro, you can get like $15 pre-workout from Walmart if you want that. You can get $8 to $10 shorts from Walmart for the gym. You can get cheap shoes. You can get cheap socks. You can get $8 wrist wraps, but you don't even need wrist wraps when you're starting out. But once you get to a point where you're lifting enough weight where you need wrist wraps, you can get $8 wrist wraps. So I don't want anyone to tell me that it's too expensive. You can get it into the gym really cheap. Start out at Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is a great place to start. It's not my favorite place to really build yourself up, but it's a great gym to start out your first year and just get acquainted with lifting weights. You don't need the $80 whey protein, and you don't need the $50 pre-workout, and you don't need the $50 wrist wraps and the $50 elbow sleeves and the $100 knee sleeves and the $200 weight belt. You don't need to spend $1,000 to start lifting and start working out and make gains. I've spent very little money over the years on lifting equipment. Actually, guys, to be honest, I've been lifting since I was 13 years old. I'm now 23 years old. The only things that I have invested in terms of lifting gear are, one, knee wraps, and they were $5 from Dick's Sporting Goods. And I've been using them for several years. Just the same ones for several years. And they've been protecting my knees for $5. Now I got these a couple of days ago, $8 for both of them. That is all I've spent on lifting gear. Guys, my entire 10 plus years of training, I've spent less than $20 on total lifting gear. It's not that expensive. Your excuses are invalid. Everyone has time. I just don't want to hear your excuses, guys. I want to see you guys getting it in, getting it done. All right. All right, guys. So I'm about to head to the gym. We're gonna see how these guys feel on low bar squat. But I already can tell you, the support that these are giving is going to be enough to keep my wrist from bending all that much on the low bar squat. I already know that it's going to help because it helped me on bench press a ton. It helped me on overhead press a ton. It inspired so much more confidence in my wrist on those two lifts. It's going to help me on the low bar squat. It would help you guys on the low bar squat. If you're having a problem on low bar squat, if your wrist is bending too much, go ahead and invest in some wrist wraps for $8 for both of them. They're $3.98 a piece. $8 for both of them. I'm not getting paid by Ace, obviously. I'm not a sponsored Jordan. I'm just, it's $8 from Walmart. Like, why let your wrists go to crap when you can spend $8 and protect them? Alright guys, with that, I'm going to go ahead and conclude this video. I hope this video was helpful and informative for you guys. Like the video if you enjoyed this video. Comment if you have any questions or concerns. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And make sure to ring that bell beside the subscribe button. Because I post daily videos, and in order to get my daily notifications, you have to ring that bell beside the subscribe button. Till next time, guys, all love.